All right. I think it's about time we talk about Metal Gear Solid 5. As you can see, we have pretty much completed almost every mission. The side ups, if I turn on my webcam here, completed all side ups, all 157. Took a long ass time, but we got them all done. We even did the target practice one too. Some of them were easy, some of them were a pain in the ass. I think the R&D one is probably the only one I had to look up online because I was just missing every single one of them. Every time I tried to do it, I was missing like at least 5 or even not, I don't know, at least 5, and I can't find them anywhere. So I have to look up online to figure out where they're all hiding at. But yeah, complete pretty much the whole game. I think there's one mission we haven't completed. This one I haven't completed yet. This one proven a little bit difficult. I look up, online for like how to complete this mission on extreme. A lot of people say you can just camp on the rooftops, or you can use a D-Walker as well with the Gatling gun. And there's many ways you can do it. I tried to take it out with the old-fashioned way by using tanks and shotguns. It did not work well for me, so I'll probably try it in my spare time and try not to D-Walker with the Gatling gun, see if it if I can really kill these guys or not. But yeah, this is the only one I can complete right now. But all the missions I pretty much completed, essentially, even the total stealth one, the extreme, the subsistence. This one's actually pretty fun. It's also really difficult to do as well, but it's pretty fun. So pretty much you go in the mission with nothing. You got no weapons, no items. You do got photons, so you can still photon people out, which is really useful. But you got no reflex, no support, nothing. You're pretty much on your own naked. This one's definitely the most interesting in terms of the gameplay, because you can do this, because you literally have to think outside the box to complete this mission. And I've seen other people how to do it online, and they did it like the most simplest way possible. So who knows? I'll probably come back and retry those missions again. But yeah, everything is pretty much done. Like, I'm complete with the game, so it's time to talk about what I think about Metal Gear Solid 5. And I'll be honest, I really, really, really enjoyed playing Metal Gear Solid 5. And even from watching the trailer back when they first announced it back then, I thought it looked really cool. But I just never got the chance to play Metal Gear Solid 5 at the time. I don't know what the hell I was doing back in 2015. But it was a game. It was a very divisive game among the hardcore fans and the newcomers, and I can see why, because Metal Gear Solid 5 is literally throwing you into the fray without knowing any knowledge of any Metal Gear Solid game. Luckily for me, I've beaten Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater recently, so playing this game, I still have a good understanding of the lore. But obviously that also comes from me playing the other previous Metal Gear Solid game years ago, so I already know some knowledge of the Metal Gear Solid lore. Like, I know about the Naked Snake, Big Boss, all the different clones they have, like Liquid Snake, Solid Snake, Solidus Snake, and the crazy whole twist at the end at Metal Gear Solid 4 with Onslaught and all that stuff. So I know most of the lore, but it's still kind of fuzzy, so that's why I'm kind of going through the whole series again, just to get the full story. And like I said, I think playing Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, I think playing that game alone is more than enough for you to get the full lore of Metal Gear Solid when you come to play 5. But it's also very, very important that you play Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes first, because that is the prequel of the Phantom Pain. So if you're gonna play Metal Gear Solid 5, you have to play Ground Zero. It is a mandatory. Like, I'm not joking. You have to play that game first to get a full understanding of everything. But yeah, let's talk about it, guys. What I really, really like about Metal Gear Solid 5, and obviously the biggest standout point for this game is the gameplay. I think the gameplay is definitely the best of all the Metal Gear Solid games that I've ever played. I have never been addicted to this game. I haven't been addicted to any sort of games for a very, very long time. Metal Gear Solid 5 is one of the few games that has made me come back to play this game almost every day. Like, I'm not joking. Every day I come home, from work, and I boot this game up, and I do like the side missions, all the replay missions, etc. This game, I don't think you can never get bored of it, frankly. And that is a really good thing because it just shows you how good the gameplay was in this game. Now, yes, there are some mechanics in the game that do frustrate me, a little bit dated, like, you get detected by one guy. He's like isolated from everybody, right? But as soon as that guy spots you, the whole base knows exactly where you're at, and the whole base get alerted, and it's just, I find that freaking bullshit, Now, there is a way to break line of sight, like when you get spotted, you do there's like a little indicator in the map where it shows your last known position. So the enemies are going to assume you are going to be there. So, but if they're like pretty close by, everybody knows where you're at. But if they're far away, you have a chance to break away from that area, and they will pretty much keep converting that position until they can't find shit. So I guess that's a double-edged sword. Like for me, I don't really like it as much because I kind of find it bullshit, especially when you got like vehicles and gunships in the air. They will exactly know yet, even when a sandstorm going on, like sandstorm or fog, and they're not supposed to see you do sandstorm, they can still see you, regardless of that, when you get spotted. So there are some flaws to that, but obviously, this is a game that came out 2015, so Kojima was probably experimenting with this type of gameplay design stuff at the time, so maybe it just wasn't refined. But for the most part, the gameplay is really good because of how open-ended the mission is. You can do the mission however you want, and you can do it the slowest way, you can do it the quickest way. Like there is so many ways you can complete one mission. It never gets old. Okay, it's all I gotta say. It is that damn good. And it's also really fun too because it makes you, it forces you to rethink your strategy at the time. Okay, how should I do this? Oh, I should get a different weapon. So calling, different weapons. Calling different vehicles. Depending on the mission and the situation, you can do pretty much anything. And I really like that. It's something that I really wanted to see in Ghost Recon Wildlands and Breakpoint. That's what this game really reminded me of, is Wildlands and Breakpoint. The only difference, this game actually works, the camo system actually works, rather than Ghost Recon. The camo is just aesthetics, which I kind of find very disappointing for a Ghost Recon game. But this game does it right though, because the camo does matter, not as much compared to Metal Gear Solid 3 and 4, but it does matter. If you're going to a desert area like I'm wearing right now, I'm wearing chocolate chip. I take this to Afghanistan. If I'm going to, Africa, I kind of wear like a woodland camo type, thing. So it's just, you can switch the uniforms on the fly as well. You just call it in, and you get a different uniform. Which, that's what I say. The gameplay in this game is so damn good, and I'm glad that Kojima, implemented most of the gameplay design to Death Stranding. Although the difference with Death Stranding is the combat. It is there, but it's not it's not the most in-depth compared to Metal Gear Solid, because your whole game is to go to point A to point B and delivering stuff. But there are some combat elements in Death Stranding, but it's not as in-depth as Metal Gear Solid 5. But the gameplay is damn good. I haven't tried the FOB missions, but I heard infiltrating other people's FOB is pretty fun too. Although I don't want to do that because if I attack other people's base, they're gonna come attack me. So I ain't gonna do that. So I'll probably do like some special event type of thing, which I think is going on right now, Mosquito's Legacy, some shit like that. So I'll probably do that one. I think that one is like an in-game event, so I don't have to worry about people attacking my base. But yeah, the gameplay design is good, and this whole system to base building too, is also really, really fun too. They definitely borrowed it a lot from Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, the whole base building system, but they expanded on it even more with the whole online feature stuff, which is kind of cool because you can easily, like I said, you can, here, I'm gonna show you for example. So right now, I got about three different FOB bases right here, right? You can also make it 4. I wouldn't recommend it because the more FOB you buy, the more expensive you get. Like, look at this upgrade. Look at that, 900,000 GMP to upgrade this platform. on FOB 3. That is ridiculous. That is insane grinding that I just don't have time with. But yeah, as you keep buying more FOB, they do get a lot more expensive. So keep that in mind. And there is no way to get all this stuff, the quickest way. There's no pay to win elements in it. So you're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way, as in grinding. Keep doing dispatch missions consistently. That's the only way you're gonna be able to get all this stuff upgraded. To me, I'm never gonna get this stuff upgraded all the way. So I got Mother Base fully upgraded here, and FOB 1 is about to be finished as well. I got like about a few more platforms to complete, and that's pretty much it. FOB 2, I might be able to complete this one, but this one's gonna take a lot more grinding to do. But it's doable. It's just it is very time consuming. But yeah, the more upgrades that you have for your base, you can use that to upgrade, like, to develop new weapons. As you can see here, all this stuff here is fully upgradable, and they have all kinds of selections too. You got shotguns, grenade launchers, sniper rifle, machine guns, mines, etc. Like, you could do so many things, but you could also get more upgraded items like this one here. Look at this. Level 7, I could actually get it. I just don't got the cash for that right now. But you can only get this stuff if you're online, so keep that in mind. So you have to be logged in online to get some of this stuff. See, like this one's a good example here. See, I can't get this one because my R&D and intel level is 79, and I have to be 80 to get the requirements, and level 90 for intel, which I'm not even close to even get that. So the grinding to get some of this high-end gear is pretty damn extreme, to say the least. So like I said, it's a lot of freaking grinding to get all this stuff, and frankly I just don't got the time to do that. So but there's some people out there that are really highly leveled out. Hey, that's good for them. For me, I don't got time for that shit. But like I said, it's cool that this whole system is really cool. You can and some of this weapon do branch out. So like you get this, you get like the non-lethal options for the sniper rifle, which I'm currently making a newer version right now. And there's a more powerful version here, as you can see, which I can't get because I have to be a highly level on support unit and R&D. I need enough resources for flowers, all that stuff, and that would just take too much time. So I ain't gonna bother with that one. But it's just cool. Like you can do your mission, you can complete your missions however way you want, and whichever upgrades however way you want as well. And it's just so many possibilities that you can do. Like I say, it's just a fantastic game, a fantastic system that no other game has at the moment. And of course you got the kind of cardboard boxes. Don't sleep on this, by the way. The cardboard boxes are really good. I never get to use them much, but whenever I use it, like I use it in side ops, you can actually do some crazy shit with it. Like when people pick up like the box, you can actually just walk around them as to pick up the box, which I think you can do that in Metal Gear Solid 3. I just never did. I just end up staying there like a fucking dumbass and get caught. But you can do that. You can literally walk around them, and they will not even notice at all. Like especially after sneaking suit, like they just won't hear it at all. And it's a fun, very useful thing to use. You can also use it to like slide across like downslope hills too. You can do all kind of crazy stuff. Like it's a fun game. Like I say, it's just a fun game. Many different possibilities. You even got all these different upgrades for your cybernetic arm as well. And it's just it's a fun ass game and very in depth. And like I say, it's just a fantastic game in terms of the gameplay of it. It's just there's no other games out there that's like this. You got base building, you can infiltrate other people's FOB, you can develop your own equipment, you can complete your missions however you want. It's just crazy. On top of that too, you can even establish relationships too with any PFs you find other people's FOB, and you can form an alliance with them. I don't got none right now, but you can, regardless, you can use that, to like expand on your whole base building operations even more. Which is, like I said, it's just a game way ahead of its time. And I think even today, I think this game is still influenced a lot of games out there, especially with Kojima with Death Stranding 1 and 2, which borrows a lot of elements, from this game. And so, like I said, it's just gameplay wise is really good. The stealth in this game is also really good, very in depth as well. And every mission you can do is never the same. And the stealth in this game definitely matters, though. Like I said, you don't want to get caught. Even certain little things that you do, like stealing, the resource containers, that will alert the base. So you have to really carefully plan out your missions. Like, do you really want to steal that resources now, or you want to steal it later? My advice is to steal them later, because if you steal them now, that's going to alert the whole base when they find out and realize shit is missing. So it's probably best to just knock everybody out first, photon out them out, and then after that, do what you have to do in a lot of these missions. But like I said, this game will never bore you out of your mind. You complete this mission however you want, and the game will throw you everything what it has against you, and it's never going to be the same. And like I said, that's what makes me keep coming back to this game. It's just so damn good. All right, I think that's enough rambling about the gameplay. Also forgot, as I said, enough about the gameplay. The buddy system I think is pretty cool to do. You don't really get too much buddies though. You only got D-Horse, D-Walker, D-Dog, and Quiet. I don't have Quiet right now because I'm beating the game. So once you're beating the game, you're not gonna have Quiet. Although you could get Quiet back by replaying her sniper mission. When you fight against her, I think 6 or 7 times, and you can get her back. But I haven't done that yet. Probably will get it done eventually, but not now. But of all the buddies, I think D-Dog and Quiet are 2 of the most useful, one of the most essential buddies you need to have. D-Dog is probably the best one because he automatically spots people around you when you infiltrate the base. So you don't have to pretty much spot people manually if you have D-Dog. You can do that with Quiet too. If you tell her to infiltrate the base, she will do that. But D-Dog is the easiest way because you don't even have to have D-Dog do anything, at that point. You just have him around with you and he will automatically spot people, for you. You can also have him stun people, photon people out as well, which I think is really fun to do. I haven't really tried the photon system for D-Dog, but I have it as a stun, and having the stun is pretty cool, but you gotta be careful though, because if other guys see them, they're gonna shoot D-Dog, and you don't want them shooting your dog, because you know what that means. I'm about to go John Wick on their asses if that happens. But in Quiet, she's also really good to have as well, because you can have her cover you, and pretty much anytime you get into combat, she will pretty much shoot anybody that is around your area. Or you can have her specifically take out certain targets as well. This is extremely very important and useful if you have her with a silenced sniper rifle. And let me tell you, her having a silent sniper rifle is a force to be reckoned with. Like, she is absolutely disgusting. And like I said, Quiet and D-Dog is definitely 2 of the best ones. I think D-Walker can be really useful too. I just never really using the Walker, but I might have to use it for that one mission, for the extreme mission I'm about to do. But the D-Walker is pretty cool too, because you can have it as a loadout, as a as a lethal or non-lethal, and it's pretty cool here. Let me show you the D-Walker here real quick. So right now, this set here, I have it hat, don't mind the gold plate. But yeah, right now for this load, it has the non-lethal pistol for main weapon. I got, the rocket, and obviously you get equipped with flamethrowers, discharger, Gatling guns as well. But yeah, this one is going to be like the main rocket system. Also got different pistol too. This one does damage as well. But it's just a really cool thing to have, though. It's so goddamn cool. Support head. I don't got any gear set for the support head because I think I need to capture some people that has that skill set. And then you got close combat. You got machete as well. Pretty cool stuff here. But yeah, you can have it as different mini loadout as much as you can for this. And you got like, what, 2 different slots here too if you want. Pretty damn cool. But yeah. The buddy system, it's also pretty good as well. But without being said, enough with the the gameplay. Let's talk about the graphics and the art style of this game. I think the game looks fairly pretty. It looks good, I'll say, for the most part. Granted, this game that came out 2015, so there are certain things in this game that's gonna look, a little bit dated, a little bit low resolution textures. But for the most part, this game definitely nails it in its art style and the graphics wise. I think it pulls it off, especially when you get the cutscenes in this game. The cutscenes are, god damn. Most of the cutscenes in this game did not disappoint. Whenever something shit happens at Mother Base or in the game, the cutscenes are just so damn good. Voice acting also, especially from Kaz. I think his name is Robert Eckendons. He does a fantastic job as Miller. Fantastic job. Whenever you see him, in the cutscenes and you hear him speak, god damn, he just goes all in, and you can hear the emotion from his voice too, especially from what happened to him in Peace, in Ground Zero, and also a shout out to Kiefer Sutherland as well, playing as Snake. Even though I will very much prefer and love to have David Hayter back as Snake, because he's just the GOAT, when it comes to playing as Snake. Like, you can't have Snake without David Hayter. It's simple as that. But this game, in some ways, I think it works. I think Kiefer Sutherland, definitely can play a very good impression of Big Boss, and much older Big Boss too. And I think they even use his face as well as Snake too, and he looks like Big Boss. It's not the real one, unfortunately, but for the most part, he could definitely play a very good, impression of Big Boss. And I guess that's also another reason why Kojima did that too, because you're not really playing as the real one, so that's why he is voiced by a different, he's played by a different actor. But he also did a pretty good job too. Like, when you see him talk, when he's talking in cutscenes, Kiefer Sutherland can play a really good Snake, in my opinion. And it's just a shame we never really see him talk as much, because that was just a lot of big potential wasted there, because he's a good ass actor. He's a very good actor. Lost Boys, Jack Bauer, especially from 24, like, he's a fantastic actor. And it's just a shame that Kojima didn't really fully utilize his potential, but for the most part though, he did a really good job. Troy Breaker as Onslaught, he did a pretty good job as Onslaught as well. I think Onslaught in this game is kind of a between version of him how he's supposed to look in Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. Like, he looks kind of old, but not really. He's kind of in the middle, in the middle ground. But you can definitely see that he's starting to look more like his old, MGS2, maybe MGS1 style. To me, he kind of looks more to his MGS2 style. But it's kind of cool to see Ocelot in this game as well, because he's very, very important in the whole Metal Gear Solid franchise as well. And him playing by Troy Breaker, I see no problem to it. A lot of people probably think, oh, Troy Breaker again, he's fucking everywhere, he's overrated. Which, yeah, he can be overrated, but he's in the video game voicing industry for a reason, because he's goddamn good at it. And for the most part, he did pretty good as Onslaught as well. I think they used his face as well, as for Onslaught too. So, yeah, he did pretty good. Although I kind of wish that we kind of see Onslaught in action though, because in almost every game you see him in action. You see him, moving his goddamn revolver. He's actually shooting things. He never really did nothing in this game. He's more as an advisor for you. He's just there to support you. But I would love to see Ocelot in action in this game. That would have been peak, man. But we never get to see that because, he's just there to help you. But when you do see Ocelot, in the cutscenes, it just pains me because I want to see him in action. I want to see him shoot things, help out Big Boss, in missions. But you never get to see that, unfortunately. So, what can you do? But yeah, for the most part, the graphics is pretty good in this game. It's pretty good. It holds up really well, especially for an engine this old. You can play this game with an old ass low-end system and you still will be able to get 60 frames. Heck, this game came out on the 360 and PS3 still, and it still was running 60 frames per second. Like, come on. Kojima and I don't know how he did it, but he made some black magic engine that can pretty much do anything they can. Unfortunately, this engine is abandoned now since Konami is going forward with Unreal Engine, Unreal Engine 5. But yeah, graphic-wise, visually-wise, it holds up really well. So I'm glad to see that, you know, people can still play this game and saying, damn, this game was damn good. Now let's talk about the story. The biggest topic, the story in this game. I think for the most part, I really like the story in this game. Now, this is a huge shift change from Metal Gear Solid 3, especially from Peace Walker. This game is definitely going to be going to the very darker side. It is a very dark game, does with a lot of heavy themes, which is crazy to think of because the other games are pretty over the top, you know, very fantastical, you know. This game is definitely going for a more grounded approach to it, a more grittier approach to it. Although you still got some of the high tech, over the top, you know, fantastical stuff too. Like me, look at me, look at my arm. I got a freaking mechanical arm that can transport people through me. Like that's not realistic, obviously, but it's fun. But you know, you still get some of the outlandish, crazy shit like Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, Metal Gear, for example, is the biggest, you know, over-the-top, fantastical thing you can see in this game. Because this game is set in 1984, right? But I got like some, like I say, robot arms, giant kaiju-sized fucking robot. Quiet. I got a sniper rifle, a sniper that can teleport from place to place. Like, yeah, this game is all over the place. But you know what? I don't care. To me, I think that's cool and that's fun. You know. But likewise, the story though, at the beginning of the game, I kind of already sort of figured that we weren't playing as the real big boss. There's a lot of things. The game already tells you straight up to your face at the beginning of the game that you're not playing as big boss. But obviously, you're not gonna know that until you beat in the game, because when you're playing the game, you really want to believe you're playing as the real big boss, aka Naked Snake. And I wanted to believe that too, but after I got halfway through the game, you know, I really kind of convinced myself, I don't think I'm not playing as the real Snake. There's just some things he does in the game, I was like, that's not something, you know, Snake will do, you know. But it still made you want to believe that you're playing as the real Snake, you know. And until you get to the end of the mission, the truth mission, then you finally find out, oh shit, I was playing as a doppelganger the whole time. And the avatar you create at the beginning of the game was also another big clue as well, because why would a game allow you to create an avatar at the start of the game? So a lot of people will probably think, oh, it's just for the online stuff, but why would it include that in the single player game? That's the question. So already Kojima is already giving you a lot of clues you're not playing as the real Snake. But especially when you find the AI pod and you meet, you know, Huey Emmerich, you don't really see an emotional response from him at all. Like that's especially to the boss's AI pod, you know. Like you think he will, you know, be a lot more emotional, you know, but you don't really get to see that. You only get to see that in Ground Zeroes, which is why I wanted so much more from Kiefer Sutherland as Snake, because you can see like the emotion, his body language, the way he says certain things in Ground Zero. Just the biggest potential just wasted, I think, for Kiefer Sutherland to play as a good big boss. But with that being said, you know, even him playing as the fake Snake, you know, he did a pretty good job too, you know. But likewise, the story I'd say is pretty damn good though in this game. It's really good. It's definitely very different from any other Metal Gear Solid game. It is definitely going to be a lot more darker. Like granted, this game did came out at a time where you got a whole bunch of movies and games are trying to be as edgy as possible with the whole grittier, you know, darker theme at the time. So Kojima was kind of jumping in the same boat on that too. But excuse me, bourbon hot dogs. But I think he did a pretty good job in this game. There are some moments in this game that definitely hits, you know, pretty hard. Especially the part where you have to kill your own guys to prevent an outbreak, you know, from happening. And those guys are just willing to pretty much let Big Boss execute them essentially to, you know, because they love him so much, you know, that they're willing to die for him, regardless of the situation they're in. And to me, that is, you know, that's pretty painful to see. You raise up a whole mercenary army, and you are going in here to kill your own guys, knowing that their fate is sealed. They're so willing to lay their life down for you. That's how much they adore, they idolize you, how much they love you. And it just pains me to see that. That shit will fucking kill me. Knowing that I'm going there shooting my own guys, but they know the drill, they know the situation. Like, it's just it's kind of sad to see. And I don't think even the real big boss will probably not do that. Maybe he will, but it's just to show you that Venom Snake, that's what they call him, Venom Snake. Venom Snake, to me, I think he embodies the title of Big Boss better than the original Big Boss, because the original Big Boss, he's out there doing his own shit, building. Excuse me. You got the other Big Boss building out of heaven. He's doing his own pet project, while you got the real Venom Snake taking the big responsibility of running the main event, the main show. But to me, he's more like the real Big Boss than the real one, because Big Boss has fallen off the rails, from hero to villain. He's already lost his damn mind away from building his own damn nation. And the fact that he even sent Solid Snake to kill fucking Venom in the first Metal Gear game, and which explains why Big Boss come back in Metal Gear 2, because Solid Snake kills Venom Snake in the first game, and then he kills the real Big Boss in the second game, which kind of makes sense now why Big Boss came back twice. It's like, wait, I killed you. There's no fucking way. And it's kind of sad to see too that Venom Snake, he's pretty much got his whole life taken away from Big Boss. From being a simple medic to now becoming Big Boss now. So his whole life has just been taken away. So I can't imagine what's going to his mind. Like, I think in his mind, he's probably grateful that the Big Boss has chosen him for taking such a big responsibility. But at the same time, he's fucking pissed, because he got his whole life and identity taken away from him, and he is now forced to play his role until he is no longer needed. And unfortunately, he met his end from Solid Snake at the end of Metal Gear 1. So, but I think in some ways he still has big loyalty for Big Boss, which is why he still does it still. He still plays as Venom's, as Big Boss, because he's that loyal to Big Boss that he's willing to see it to the end, despite how pissed off he is that he has to play as his own boss in the rest of his life. So Venom Snake, in some ways, he has been through a lot of bullshit, and it almost makes you really, feel sorry for him, because that's all he's really known for. He's Big Boss. His old life, he used to be a combat medic for the MSF, and the fact that he lost, I guess I'm pretty sure him and Quiet are very, very close to each other. I think in some ways they were in love with each other. Unfortunately, Quiet was forced to speak in English to save us, and because of that, she has activated the parasite. So my guess is that she probably, since we never seen it in any any other previous Metal Gear Solid game, we can assume that she's definitely dead, because of the parasite in her vocal cords. But I think she kind of remained isolated from the rest of the world, so that way she won't spread the whole parasite vocal cords into any other countries. So I think in some way hopefully she passed away in peace. But that's the assumption I got. Like, she didn't die right away, of course, but eventually she did die because of the parasite in the throat, which is also maybe sad for Quiet too, because you can see Quiet and Venom were definitely very close to each other, but because she can't speak, she can't really express her true feelings to him. And I think Venom also has he also loves Quiet too. And it's a sad story. It's a tragic story for Venom here. I think Venom has been through a lot of bullshit. And if you watch that Out of Heaven fan-made film too, that is, by the way, Kojima approved as well. which is pretty much confirmed canon. That was also very touching and very sad end for Venom Snake too, because he pretty much dies alone, essentially. And obviously he did got one last call from Big Boss himself, and Big Boss pretty much commend him for playing his will. But it's just sad to see that Venom Snake did die, you know, by himself, you know, in that short film. But he did play his will. But likewise, like I said, the story is really good for the most part. I do like that inclusion of Liquid Snake, aka Eli, in this, which he does play a big role in this story. And Scarface was one of the most interesting villains in this game. I would like to see more Scarface in this game, but unfortunately they kind of turned him into more of a generic super villain, while in Ground Zero is very mysterious, very interesting. Like, I want to know more about him, you know. And you do get to know more about him, but he just comes up like a typical super villain in this game, and I kind of find that a little bit disappointing. Because if you hear like the conversation between him and Zero, like, man, like I would love to see, you know, more Scarface, you know, in cutscenes. And I wouldn't even like to fight him at least once too, because he has his own lever action break action gun too. I would love to fight him at least once as a boss battle, but we never get to see that happen, unfortunately. But he did play a good villain though in this game though. The voice actor who played as this guy is, I don't know how he does it. Like, whenever he talks, sometimes he switches his voice tune and he sounds like a completely different character. Completely. Like, that's how unique he was. Like, even to the fact that he was there in Snake Eater when Snake was, you know, doing the mission there. He was there with Snake, but he was the cleanup crew, essentially, whenever the mess he made. So, like I said, I would like to see more of Scarface, but now we never got to see that happen. We do get to see a little bit of Zero, but it's only in cassette tapes. But I would love to see Zero in like cutscenes in this game too. And it's just the fact Zero still cared about Snake in this game too, despite, you know, the speculation you get from Metal Gear Solid 4 that he did this, you know, in spite of Snake. But in this game, he was actually helping Snake out, you know, in some ways. But because Zero got attacked by Scarface with a parasite, that's why he's kind of brain dead in Metal Gear Solid 4, is because of Scarface. You know, but it just shows you that Zero still cared about Snake still, and he even did everything he can to save him. Even that meant, you know, even that was risking his own life. Like, he was the one that got Snake onto that hospital, and his idea of making a copy of a Snake, Venom Snake, that was his idea too. So he was doing everything he can to save Naked Snake. Which is kind of sad to see, because Big Boss never really get to talk to him, because he's already brain dead from Scarface at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4. So Big Boss will never know that Zero did everything he can to save his life. So it's just maybe sad thing to see, you know, everything unfold in this game. And even the departure of Quiet 2 is maybe emotional too, because knowing that Quiet can never come back to, you know, Mother Base, because she has spoken the English, you know, because of the English strain in her vocal cord parasite, she can't come back to Mother Base. Otherwise, everybody else is going to get infected. So it's just a very sad story to see, you know, with Venom Snake here. He's been through a lot of bullshit. And I also like that this game definitely ties into with Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear 1 and 2 as well. So this game in some way is still completed. You know, there are some elements in this game that is not, you know, completed. Like, you got a whole missing episode, you know, where you got the climax with Eli and his Metal Gear. You can watch that on YouTube right now to see the whole concept art. They even got 30% of the cutscenes completed too, and it looked pretty damn good. Like, you even got the voice acting implemented as well. The voice acting's in there. Granted, the mouth is not lip synced to emotions, so they're gonna look very they're not gonna look emotional. But the fact that they got the voice acting in, the motion capture, the cutscenes in, it's just to show you the fact there was supposed to be one more big episode before, you know, we reach to the climax of the truth, which is unfortunate, because I really wanted to see that, you know, happen, where you get to confront with Eli, you fight Metal Gear Celebrities one for like what, the second time in the game. I would like to see that conclusion, you know. with that story arc. So that way it leads to, you know, the story to Metal Gear Solid 1 where you got Liquid Snake, Eli, and the third child, aka Psycho Mantis, you know, in there, you know, they form a little pack, and then that's how Metal Gear Solid 1 forms. But like I said, it ties the knot to Metal Gear Solid 1 very good. Especially got the post-credit scene where you got Miller and Onslaught talking about how they have to help the other big boss. So both of those guys knew we were the fake Snake the whole fucking time. They knew we were the fake Snake the whole time. I think this Miller took it, you know, a lot harder because he wanted to build, you know, the pirate military force with Big Boss, but the fact that he's building his own nation without Miller has pretty much to say fuck Big Boss. I'm going and pretty much in his way of revenge for the real Big Boss. He's going to help us the best way we can, even mentoring Solid Snake, which he ended up mentoring, which he did end up teaching Solid Snake to kill to kill us essentially, Venom Snake in the first game, which is kind of crazy, kind of ironic, and the whole twist, you know, that he would use Solid Snake to kill Venom Snake here. But yeah, in some ways it's complete, but it's also complete because this game ties the knot to Metal Gear Solid 1. So, with that being said, the story, it could have been a masterpiece if Konami would have let Kojima complete the game. I think we could have gotten a lot more content in this game, you know, overall in terms of the story, if Konami would have let him, you know, complete the game. But it is what it is. We aren't going to get a remake or a remaster of this game at all, so it is what it is. But on that, I think that's pretty much the most important thing I have covered for the game. So I'm going to end here for now before the video goes on for any longer. So the biggest question is, should you play this game if you played any other previous Metal Gear Solid games? My answer would be yes, absolutely. Check this game out, especially if you come back and beat Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, because Peace Walker is pretty much it's gonna have a lot of stuff from Peace Walker in this game. So highly recommend you play Peace Walker first, or watch the cutscene at least in Peace Walker to get the full story of Metal Gear Solid 5, because it's gonna tie into Peace Walker very closely. So keep that in mind. But for the most part, yeah, this is a fantastic game. I think it's a very good addition to Metal Gear Solid franchise, and I think every die-hard, you know, Metal Gear Solid fan, or even newcomer Metal Gear Solid fans, should absolutely check this game out. You won't be disappointed. Trust me on this. If you don't like this game, that's fine, because this game is very divisive in some ways, especially with the whole open world design of this game. Because, you know, despite the game, the game being good at open world, it has a lot of cons too, because you're going to be coming back to the same areas over and over again, you know, for the consistent, you know, grind. And the game is going to be soulless, you know. It's going to be very empty. A lot of these areas, you're not going to see people walking around like civilians and all that stuff. You're not going to see any of that around. You're just going to be fighting against other, you know, military forces in this game. So I guess that's another con too when it comes to the open world design of this game. It kind of loses a lot of the charm from the older previous Metal Gear Solid games, where it is handcrafted. You got all this secret hidden Easter eggs and all this stuff. All that stuff is kind of missing with this open world design, because the game is so open-ended. You know, it kind of just feels like your typical generic Far Cry, Ubisoft type of style open world game. I think Ground Zero has a little bit more personality because it's just one big open sandbox base. I think that game had more, you know, soul. That game had a lot more Easter eggs to find, because it's more handcrafted, more, you know, because it's one big area. While Phantom Pain is like is a big open world. You can't really do that in an open world game. So I guess that's one critique I could say for the open world design for this game. Is very soulless, very empty, very mainstream to say the least. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here for now, guys. I've been ranting on for far too long. Check out Metal Gear Solid 5. If you love Metal Gear Solid, you won't be disappointed. And stay tuned for the next future playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 1, because we're all gonna be going to all the Metal Gear Solid games again. Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2. Whenever 4 comes out on Volume 2, hopefully. If not, I'll probably have to emulate Metal Gear Solid 4 to play that game. I think even Peace Walker as well. I'll probably play that as well at some point. But you can bet your ass I am playing a Metal Gear Solid 1 playthrough. We're going back in time. Went from where it all started. We ain't doing no Twin Snake. We ain't doing no Twin Snake remake. As much as I love the over-the-top cutscene that game has to offer, it just kind of completely kills the original soul of the first game. So we're gonna play the original Metal Gear Solid 1 game, and then we'll be moving on to Metal Gear Solid 2, and then hopefully the 4, and then maybe Peace Walker. Maybe, we shall see. But yeah, I'm going to give this game probably an 8.5 out of 10 rating. I think it's a really good solid, Metal Gear Solid game. But it's not one of my favorite Metal Gear Solid games. It's not gonna be top tier like Metal Gear Solid 3. Then that comes to 1. I have to play 2 again because I don't remember nothing about 2, but I'm gonna assume 2 is gonna be really good too. I think 2 was the one that kind of talk about, fake news, AI taking over the world. I think even memes too started to become a thing too. To start using the word memes a lot too. So the memes pretty much originated from Metal Gear Solid, and then after that, memes became a thing after that in that time period. So Kojima's a fucking prophet. Is all I gotta say. I think even this game kind of predicted COVID too. With people getting sick and all that. And then the next game he made, Death Stranding, dealing with the COVID-19 stuff. So I was like, he's just a goddamn prophet. But otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna end it here for now. Stay tuned for the future playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 1, which you can bet you guys I'm gonna play. And if you guys got any other games you want to suggest for me to play, let me know in the comments down below. And also, let me know what you guys think about this game. Have you guys beaten it? Have you guys played it? If so, do you guys love this game or you guys hate it? Also leave that in the comments down below. But yeah, if you enjoyed the playthrough as a whole, hit the like button in this video. If you guys didn't, hit the dislike button. It's all up to you. And without further ado, guys, this is going to be the end of Metal Gear Solid 5 playthrough. I had a blast with it. Hopefully you guys will check it out, give it a chance, and hopefully you guys will have some fun playing this game as well. Well, now guys, until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.